What's in my wallet for the first quarter and going into the second quarter of 2026? We're going to go over that in today's video. Now, it's been a long time since I've done one of these What's in My Wallet videos on this channel, so I figured I would do one now. Now, this is toward the end of the first quarter of 2026. There's only a few more days left, and then we go into the second quarter. And the reason I'm doing 2 quarters at a time is because of the 5% quarterly categories that rotate on two of the cards that I have, which are the Discover It card and the Chase Freedom Flex card. But let's just start at the beginning. Now, this video is going to be done a little bit differently than I've done in past What's in My Wallet videos. So we're going to break this video up into 4 parts. The first part of this video will go over my living expenses cards, which are cards that I use for living expenses. The second part of this video will be necessity cards, cards I use for food and gas. The third part of the video will be what I call specialty cards. And then the fourth part of the video will be everyday cards, like cards that I use as catch-all cards. Now, I only have one living expense card, and that is the US Bank Cash Plus card. Now, this is the old design of this card. I'll put up at the top of the screen here what the new design of the card looks like, but this is the old design. I have not gotten the new design yet. But basically, I use this card for typically I use it for, I can get 5% cash back on utilities and internet, cable, and streaming services. Now, every quarter I can change the categories that I use this card for, but for the most of the year, those are the 2 categories that I use this card for. So I use it to pay my electric bill, and then I also use it to pay my internet and cable bill. And also some of my streaming services that I have also go on to this card. Okay, now we're into the necessities category. And I have 3 to 5 cards in this category. And I'll tell you why I have 3 to 5 cards in this category here in a minute. But the first card that I have in this category is the Chase Freedom Flex card. Now, this card earns 5% cash back in rotating quarterly categories, which change every quarter, and that's up to the first $1,500 in spend in those categories for the quarter. You also get 3% cash back on dining and drugstores, and then you get 1% cash back on everything else. Now, for the first quarter of 2026, one of the categories on this card, one of the 5% categories, is dining. Now, with this card, instead of only getting 5% cash back on dining, I'm getting 7% cash back on dining because I'm getting 1% cash back as the base, and then I'm getting the 2% cash back on dining for the bonus, which is all year, which I get. And then for the quarterly bonus category, I'm getting an additional 4% cash back. So that's why it's 7% cash back that I'm getting back on dining on this card. Now, for the second quarter of 2026, this would fall into my specialty line, so we'll go over that when I get into my specialty cards. Now, the second card in this necessities category is the Discover It card. Now, the Discover It card gets 5% cash back in rotating quarterly categories. And for the first quarter, the first quarter of 2026, the categories are grocery stores, wholesale clubs, and select streaming services. And the categories for the second quarter of 2026 are restaurants and home improvement stores. For the first quarter of 2026, I'm primarily using the Discover It card on grocery stores. Now, I have not been using it for the select streaming services category because of the US Bank Cash Plus card that I have. And I also haven't really used this card for wholesale clubs because I have the Sam's Club card right here, and I use this card at wholesale clubs. The third card I'm using for necessities this quarter is the City Custom Cash card. Now, this card earns 5% cash back on your top spend category for each month. And I am using this card right now as my gas card. Now, in the past, I have used this card as my dining card. However, since I'm earning 7% cash back with the Chase Freedom Flex card and 5% cash back in the second quarter with the Discover It card on dining, I will use this card as my gas card. I also wanted to let you know that the City Custom Cash card and the Chase Freedom Flex card, your rewards are earned in the form of points. They're not actually earned in cash back. Now, for each issuer, you can redeem your points for cash back at a rate of 1 cent per point. So for the City Custom Cash card, I'm earning 5x City Thank You points. And for the Chase Freedom Flex card, I'm earning the points in the form of Chase Ultimate Rewards points. Now, some of you may be familiar with the rewards on the Sam's Club card, and this card does earn 5% cash back on gas. However, it's earned in the form of cash back. It's not earned in the form of the City Thank You points that the City Custom Cash card is. And I would rather earn the points because I can actually convert those points into travel. If with the City Strata card, I have access to a few of City's transfer partners, so I can transfer my points into travel. So, and those can be more valuable than the cash back that I would get. That's why I'm using this card as my gas card for this quarter. Before we go on with the video, I just want you to take a moment to consider liking the video and subscribe to the channel, because that really helps a lot. I want to try to grow this channel out, so I would really appreciate it if you would like the video and subscribe, and also feel free to comment down below on what you think of the videos that I'm doing. Now back to today's video. Now, moving on to the specialty category, as I call it, basically, I figure online shopping, and there are other expenses that I would consider specialty. Like, I do like to take 4 or 5 weekend trips per year, and I consider the expenses involved with those trips to be a specialty expense. So I have 3 cards that I'm using as specialty cards. The first card is the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards card. Now, this card earns 3% cash back in the category of your choosing, and you can change that category once every month. And there's a list of 6 different categories that you can pick from. And I picked online shopping. There's like three categories I can name off the top of my head, and they are home improvement stores, gas, and online shopping. And I use this card for online shopping purchases. Now, as I said earlier, I do a lot of my grocery shopping at Walmart. So if I have a big grocery shopping trip planned, what I'll do is I will order the items online and then I will use this card to pay for it. And I can earn a little bit more by using a little bit more cash back by using this card than I would if I were to shop in the store for the groceries. And I've also used this card to purchase this sweatshirt that I'm wearing, this Penn State sweatshirt. I bought it at Dick's Sporting Goods and I used this card to pay for this sweatshirt. The second specialty card is the Chase Freedom Flex card. Now, for the second quarter of 2026, the 5% cashback categories on this card are Amazon.com, Chase Travel, and Feeding America. So I will be using this card for my Amazon purchases instead of using the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards card, where I can earn 5% back on this card versus only 3 on this card. So I'll be using this card for Amazon.com purchases. And I could honestly see myself using it to purchase for some of my like hotel expenses on one of my weekend trips. One of my weekend trips this year may actually fall in that second quarter, so I could actually use this card to book it. Now, one thing with Chase Travel is in order to get the 5% back, or the with the quarterly you get 9% back. In order to get that, you do have to book your purchase on the Chase Travel portal. So I could see myself using that at least once during this quarter on one of my trips that are coming up. As of right now, I don't have anything planned right as of yet, but that could change here in the next few weeks. So that's I could actually see myself using this for the Chase Travel category. And the third specialty card is the Hilton Honors Surpass card. Now, this card does have a $150 annual fee, and it is offset by four $50 Hilton credits per year, and it's one credit each. You get one $50 credit each quarter. So, what I often do is for one of my weekend trips, I will stay in a Hilton property. Oftentimes, I find myself staying at a Hampton Inn, and I can use this card for that hotel purchase, and then I get $50 back as a result of that purchase with this card. And two other benefits you get with some of the other benefits you get with this card is you get Hilton Gold status, and you also get 12x Hilton Honors points at Hilton properties, and you get 6x Hilton Honors points on grocery store purchases, restaurant purchases, and gas station purchases. And then you get 3x Hilton Honors points on all other purchases. And so you can use that as a catch all category. And sometimes I do find myself using this card as a catch all card. And that will bring me into the everyday cards. Okay, now moving into the everyday cards, as I just mentioned, the Hilton Honors card is one card that I do use as a catch all card. Basically, I consider the everyday cards cards that I use for any category where I'm not going to get more than like 3% cash back in. So the first card that would fit into this category, besides the Hilton Honors card, is the City Strata card. Now, I don't have the physical City Strata card because I actually have the old version of it, which is the City Rewards Plus card, and it was product changed into the City Strata card whenever they discontinued the City Rewards Plus card. Now, one of the benefits that was with that City Rewards Plus card is you got a roundup feature, and basically what it did is it would round up your purchases to the nearest 10x City thank you points. So if you were to make a $1 purchase, you would get 10 City thank you points on that purchase. So I use the City Strata card for very small purchases, like usually when I go out for lunch when I'm at work, usually I'll buy my lunch with my City Strata card. And then, because oftentimes my lunch is, I usually spend less than $5 on it. So basically, I'm getting 10x City thank you points on each of those purchases. Now, that benefit does not carry onto the City Strata card. However, if you got the City Rewards Plus card between, I think it was June of 2024 and June or July of 2025, that 10x roundup feature actually carried over onto the City Strata card, and you get that, you're grandfathered into that until July 19th of 2026. So I do use that card as one of my catch-all cards for very small purchases. The second everyday card is the Apple card. Now, I have that card on my iPhone. I do have the physical card, but I have that card tucked away because with the physical card, you only get 1% cash back on purchases. With the card that you have in your Apple Wallet on your iPhone, or if you have an iPad, I have an iPad, you can have it on there also. So basically, if it's, as long as it's in your Apple Wallet and you use your iPhone with where places accept tap to pay, you can use your Apple card and get 2% cash back. So I do use that as one of my catch-all cards. Now, there are some places that do not accept Apple Pay, and that's where my third card comes in. And the third everyday card is the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. Now, this card earns 3% cash back on restaurant purchases and drugstore purchases, and then it earns 1.5% cash back on all other purchases. So I do use this card as one of my catch-all cards. I use this at places where the Apple card is not accepted. So at Walmart, if I'm making a purchase there in the store, I will oftentimes use this card if my purchase is greater than $13.33, because with that City Strata card and that 10x roundup feature that you get, that I will get until July of this year, basically, as long as I make a purchase that's greater than $10 but less than $13.33, then I'm getting more than 1.5% cash back on that purchase. And with the smaller purchases that are less than $10, if the purchase is $6.65 or less, then I'm getting more than 1.5% cash back on one of those purchases. Now, I thought I'd actually show you my actual wallet. This is basically my wallet, and this wallet holds up to 10 cards, and it also has a money clip on this side. I do keep a little bit of cash in there. And then there is a button here that you can push down and it will eject some of your cards. And I have 6 cards in this ejectable compartment. And then I have my Hilton Honors card in this pocket here, and then inside there are two additional pockets. One holds my driver's license, and the other one holds my Bank of America customized cash rewards card. So I will put a link to this card in the description. It is kind of like the extra wallets, but it is less expensive. So, and I bought this on Amazon, so I will put a link in the description down below if you would like to check out this wallet. Now, usually what I do toward the end of these What's in My Wallet videos, I do talk about some of the cards that I might be interested in pursuing in the near future. As of right now, I don't have any concrete plans on cards that I'm thinking of adding to my wallet. I already have a significant number of cards, and I'm pretty content with the rewards that I'm getting with those cards. There are a few, however, that I do have my eye on, and I may end up just gardening for the time being, but there are a few cards I've been looking at, and one of them is the Verizon Visa card. I am a Verizon Wireless customer, and occasionally when I'm paying my Verizon Wireless bill, I will get an offer where I'm pre-selected to apply for that card. So I might consider getting that card. Another card I'm looking at is the State Farm rewards card, and I would get 3% cash back on my car insurance if I were to get that card. And that card is issued by US Bank, and I am also a State Farm customer, so I could get that card and I would get 3% cash back on my car insurance. And another card I'm looking at possibly is the new Walmart credit card. I used to have the Walmart credit card that was issued by Capital One, but of course that card was discontinued and it was converted. Everybody got their card product changed to the Capital One Quicksilver card. So I still don't have the new card yet, and that is a card I'm thinking about getting because that card gives you, if you're a Walmart Plus member, which I am, you get 5% cash back on Walmart purchases with that card. Now, if you're not a Walmart Plus member, then you get 3% cash back on Walmart purchases. That's going to conclude this video. I want to thank you so much for watching, and if you would like to see the video I did on the Chase and Discover 5% categories for the second quarter of 2026, click this video right here. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. You be blessed, stay safe, and bye for now.